Now Hall to start the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Taking in left side, it's Wilson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
The Jets at 9-5 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. Behind them, I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Again on 2nd down.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down.
Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
They've got 2nd and 12 from the 36.
Now it's Wilson. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. Touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Come on.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 21.
They'll start on the ground. Etienne.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This defense for the Jets, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On 3rd down, Lawrence.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later, hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
No, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Lawrence.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down.
Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to 1st down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a 1st down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
Over the middle, complete. That's Jones.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So still 14 yards to go. Second down. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. There he goes, right side. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On second and goal, Wilson.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
Touchdown! Breece Hall from 10 yards out. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5. Now Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On first down, Lawrence. This complete to Jones.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
On second down, a run with Etienne.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Lawrence on 3rd down. And this one is incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Ready, set. Turn it over. Hey, work it. Okay.
Going for it, here's Etienne.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Jets are going to get the football back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Now it's Wilson. He's going to look deep for more.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And the route is on. It's 24-0.
So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you you just called a desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Lawrence. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And I think the ball's out. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Carl Lawson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering just how quickly that sack occurred, the next-gen stats tell us 2.6 seconds is all he had to throw the football.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
A give, running right, ETN.
Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety.
Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Here's Berrios.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Here's Wilson to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They go play action now. Wilson.
And check down, complete to Hall.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Zerline's kick is up and through.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think.
He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
It's not often that you'll find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Nathan Shepard in there to make the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Here's Lawrence.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
Patterson's kick is good.
And they knock that deficit down from 29 to 26.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Not sure exactly what he saw that made him decide to hand it off, but a great decision and a fantastic run.
From our vantage point, what he saw was a defense that got out of its lanes, got out of its gaps, and they were pretty much running to the quarterback, viewing him as the bigger threat. And look at that wide open space, and he rumbled for big-time yardage.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Jets. C.J. Uzomah, 27 yards. And the Jets extend their lead yet again. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here's Logan Cook now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll only get this back to the 10-yard line. Not too sure what he was doing there. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards.
And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And that is caught. It's Davis. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Another tote for Carter. And he'll have a Jets 1st down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Jags grab it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 36, Lawrence. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Kirk, 36 yards.
And the Jaguars are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. Got an open man, that's C.J. Uzomah. And he is going to have a Jets first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
DeJuan Smoot with a tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Wilson fires quickly for Davis.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. They'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Lawrence going to throw again.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Davis now to return it. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
On first down, right back to Hall. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Carter straight ahead. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Okay, great.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to...
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game.
Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach tell us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score. But they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
General, west.
Now Wilson. Targeting Moore, and he's got him on the crossing pattern. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That third down conversion good for 23.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
They find some open field here.
109 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Jags are going to get the football back at their own 17. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Able to find Jones. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
What a performance. All those points put on the board. And, Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win, and both sides of the ball made big plays. But how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take them all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So for the Jets, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.